My whole life I've been curled up, worried about fitting in. Don't know what I am, I just know that I'm different. Spazzed out fidgeting, playing with the monsters. Only open up around the creatures that I conjure.
Alright guys, we're here at Hollywood with Navid. Navid is one of the co-founders of the Secret Entourage. Now Navid, I'm gonna give it to you, like tell them who you are.
What's up guys? First of all, Jason K, thank you for having me all the way from Australia. This is, we met online and
Absolutely.
We had a Secret Entourage Academy meetup last night, and Jason was fortunate enough to come by. We had a lot of guests, so this is fucking great, man.
Yeah,
so,
it was a dope event too.
Yeah.
Like that was like, some people do events, you did it right.
Right.
You know, it was elegant, there was a lot of space to talk, like it was just good. It was a good event. I've been to a few, some of them are shit, that was good. So like,
thank you.
Good on you guys, doing it right.
I think what made it good was the people who came by.
Yeah,
we had a bunch of teachers. We had Tom Bilyeu, who we awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year for 2016. He was our keynote speaker. When you have individuals come by and they've already proven their success and they're coming out here and giving their time when they could be sitting at home or like tending to their new business, it's fucking
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It really is, because people,
really is.
like, the most valuable thing for everybody is time.
Exactly.
And the fact that they're going to give that to you means the world.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly. But to answer your question, I'm the co-founder of Secret Entourage. We are a entrepreneurship platform and community that we started a while ago with a couple of my friends, and it's something that's kind of it's really funny, because when you talk about entrepreneurship, there's a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of learning that happens for everybody involved, even the people who are trying to become entrepreneurs, even the people who are trying to provide education, resources to others. So for us too, we're eating our own medicine constantly. You know what I mean? Even though we're providing support for other people, you know, it's one of those things that it's like you end up learning from yourself as much as you end up learning from your own community also.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that it's kind of an inception thing. It plays into each other. So yeah, man, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate your time, honestly. Like, again, same shit, guys. Very, very time sensitive. I mean, everybody values time so much, and we appreciate the fact that you've taken your time out, come for a walk with us, and get some of this. So I don't really have anything to talk about personally, because I like to go, my whole thing is passion and spontaneous, right? I like to know what is most pressing to you right now, because if you talk about what is pressing to you right now, that's here,
right? I
feel like that's going to be the most important to anybody.
Right.
So you have an open floor. Whatever you feel passionate about, go for gold.
Well, I think this is the one thing I want to talk about. Even yesterday when we had Tom Bilyeu speak, I don't know if you were there speaking, you know, you heard him speak.
Yeah, I heard a little bit in the background, but I didn't hear too much.
But this is a guy who built $1 billion company. He doesn't need to come to our event and show support. You know, for that 4 or 5 hours, he could have been at home, he could have been resting, he could have been working on his other stuff, but he came out. The fact that he does that, you have to kind of glean some information about what kind of person can build $1 billion company. Yeah. That kind of person can build $1 billion company. Even at the end of the night, I myself was tired. I'm like, man, I'm ready to pass out. Well, I came from the East Coast, so you know, I'm already.
So, dude, you were like, what is it, like 4 or 5 hours behind?
It's just 3 hours. 3 hours.
Oh, it's 3 hours, but still, I mean, 11 a.m. is like 2 a.m.
Exactly. But this guy's still sitting at our event, talking to people, answering questions, until like at like 11 p.m., 12 midnight, and I'm just like thinking, I'm like, listen, this is showing us why you are who you are and I am who I am. The distinction is showing. Yep. So a lot of times you have to really figure out the reason that other people are successful in what they do is because of who they've trained themselves to be. If I don't train myself, or if I don't understand who I need to become first as prep work to achieve some of my goals, I'm never going to get there.
That's one of the most, I think, one of the most realist, rawest, and one of the most applicable things that has ever been mentioned on the show so far. Like, I feel, because you forget, and this is, somebody said this earlier, they said they should document the entire journey from what it takes to become, you know, a start of e-com to $1 million business. And when you get to the top, a lot of people are like, okay, what did you do, you know, how did you get there? And people are like, oh, I did this, this, and this. But they forget the groundwork they did, and they often forget key things. I have never really spoke about become like what it took to become the person I am today. But from the very start, the prep work that I did for the first 4 years, I made no money. In the last year, I made a ton of money. But that wasn't, like you said, it's not an accident. It is because I looked, and this is key, is I was looking at the people that were in the position that I wanted to be, and I said, what attributes did they have?
Right.
What type of person are they?
Right.
And then I started to say, how can I become that person? And until you said that, I completely forgot about it.
And then please share what you were talking about like the fact that you took that chance.
Yeah.
Like just tell me that story, because I want to go off of that.
Yeah, okay, so as I said to you, the first thing I did was I was an electrician. All right, so I was an electrician, and I liked my job, and I always wanted to be a full-time electrician and you know, grow a business from there. And I sat down one day and I said, okay, I know I can make a lot of money. I know I can make a lot of money as an electrician. When the guy that I was working for was doing like 600, 700,000 a year. That's fucking good. But I looked at him, he had no time, right? So I said to myself, what do I need to do? Okay, so I need to get into something else. I started looking into entrepreneurship. I started looking at online, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, these guys have heard that bit. They didn't hear the bit I told you. I then basically was at a breaking point in my career where I was 2 months, I literally had to go to my boss and get it signed. I did my knee in, right? I was in a roof, I stood up, bang, my knee went out, so it popped. I actually ended up having to have surgery on it. I was in rehab. So basically what was happening was I had this, okay, thanks. I had this point where, that's hella loud, isn't it? I had about 2 months before I got back into work. Once I was back in work, he just signed my form. Done, fully qualified, have a job for life, right? And a friend of mine who I was working with at the time very closely, Murray Edwards, he's a very big e-com guy. He said to me, he's like, Jace, I've been working with him prior to that time. He said, Jace, I'm gonna give you an opportunity that you will never get again. He said, pack your bags, move up to Sydney. Sydney, mind you, being one of the most expensive cities in the world, I was making $600 a week as an apprentice, after tax. I was making $600, that was it. Sydney, like to rent a house there, like $800 a week.
Yeah.
He says, look, I'm gonna pay you $1,000 a week. He says for about 4 weeks to 6 weeks. If you do not do anything, like if you can't make a business work, like you're kind of on your own. Like I'll look after you, but you have to do this yourself. So I did what was the most terrifying thing for me, and I quit 2 months before I could get signed off. And my parents were like, my parents actually supported me.
Okay.
But this was a long time coming. Yeah. They was telling me every time. They said, Jace, do what you need to do.
Right.
I literally done what Tony Robbins said. I burned my fucking boats, and I was like, fuck, plan B's are for people who don't think plan A is gonna work. And I said, fuck that, packed my bags in the back of my car, moved up to Sydney, and whilst I was up there, dude, like on the way in the car, I got 4 brand new clients for my agency.
Sweet. And that's the thing I wanted to highlight. The fact that you took this chance and all of a sudden you had all these 4 clients that kind of saved you in a sense.
Yep.
And a lot of times I think people talk about, hey, it just fell into my lap, but it didn't fall into your lap. You kind of had to do the prep work. You had to put your name out there. You had to kind of make those connections beforehand, but you weren't paying attention to it. And then once you start focusing on what you wanted to do, you said, hey, you know what? For now, I'm going to say no to this job, and now I'm going to focus on this. Once you did that, then it was easier for you to follow through a little bit more, just a little bit more, and it's that little bit more that helps those clients fall into your lap, quote unquote. So it's one of those things that you have to understand. A lot of times in life, you have to kind of go after what you want, even if that prize, even if the thing that's going to save you, that safety net, is not there yet. But once you start going on the path will open up for you. It will show itself. You have to give this a try. This is I've heard this so many times.
It's not a one-off thing.
No,
it's not a coincidence. It is once you commit yourself, and I believe strongly in the universe. I believe in manifestation. It's not you manifesting. I believe the universe manifests for you.
Absolutely.
In whatever direction you're moving in. And once you say fuck, burn everything.
Right.
You say there's one thing that's gonna work. I'm either gonna make this work or I'm gonna fucking die. I feel like the universe goes, well, he wants it. Like it's true. Have what you've been working for.
Right.
We're gonna throw some fucking curveballs at you.
Right.
And that's gonna test whether or not how high you really go, because we need to know if you truly want this.
Right.
But we've seen you take action. We're gonna reward you for that. And I believe that if I was to stay as an electrician, it's like you said, I wouldn't have been taking the actions that would have required me to take to become where I am today, because I believe the universe would have been like, you don't mean it.
Flashlights dangling underneath the stairs. If I ever went missing, they would always meet me there. They would be the ones to love me on the nights I needed care. Never brought them out in public. cause I hate when people stare. I'll be fine.